Dead face. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I got a little bit of sun, as you know, last week, and it's kind of still lingering. But like, what's really red right now? I tell you, the pollen count outside is atrocious. And I was just used our 30-second intro to try to find my eye drops.
Ugh.
Came up empty, but
not good. Not good.
I was going to do this the whole time. You guys don't have to look at my face the whole time. It looks ridiculous.
We can blur it in post. You look like one of those witness protection programs.
No, the further back I get, it looks. Oh my god! No, I was gonna say it looks better. It doesn't.
I can't figure the fucking thing out. I can't make heads or tails of the whole setup. We're supposed to be streaming in like high definition, and then you go back to watch it, and it looks like absolute horse shit. So I don't know.
It's like a hooey.
Hey, so here's something. This is important. I'm glad everybody's here and everybody's listening to this. Because
absolutely, yeah.
Going forward, especially because we're doing double dorks on Sundays, normally Sundays, but we're doing double dorks. We can have an opportunity to go back and review movies that we haven't ever reviewed. And it could be movies that we just missed the podcast, or during the podcast, could be from before we were born. There's really there's no limit to this, Ryan. So I am all ears, but I do want to decide. If you're in the chat, feel free to throw some out there, like movies that we haven't reviewed. Because I'd like to get it settled tonight, and then therefore people have a week to watch it. And then next Sunday night, it's like, hey, a nice little trip back through memory lane. My only
memory lane
from memory lane.
I like to take old biddies and bunch and mocks.
So it's important though that we get this. I also want it to be streaming. I think that's the easiest, like easily watchable. Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, Prime, Max. If it's on one of those, I feel like people don't have an excuse. They can watch it. So, all right. First couple of, before you give me some of your recommendations, right out of the rip here in the chat. Are there any Nicolas Cage movies that we haven't seen?
I am DBing it now.
That's a good one.
We could do a Nicolas Cage movie that we've both seen, but I mean, The Rock, Pig or Mandy.
Oh my God, Pig. I did watch Pig. I watched Mandy. Apparently this Long Legs, which isn't out yet, is supposed to be insane.
Really?
You see this thing? Yeah. Long Legs. It's getting like 10 out of 10s. Somebody said, I saw Stiz retweeted somebody who said the person behind them, they must have gotten like an advanced screening. The person behind them was just like crying halfway through the movie. Now, maybe they brought something from home to the theater that day. I don't know.
Who knows? But this looks pretty good.
Cameron, Best in Show is a good call. One of my personal favorites of all time. Not to be outdone, Josh in the chat, Who Framed Roger Rabbit legitimately is one of my favorite movies. And I
haven't watched that movie in a long time too.
That's a real good one.
That's kind of a good one.
Blade's a good one.
Blade is a good one.
Give that the whole treatment. Lord of War. You know, I don't know if
I've seen that. I have seen. That's the one with him and Jared Leto, and they're like gun dealers.
All right. Oh, maybe I have seen that. Not any 90s Sandler movie. Look at that. Like
Mixed Nuts.
Airheads. People sleep on Airheads, dude. Airheads is good. Big Lebowski.
I could do that one myself. You would have a hard time getting me off that.
You could do a dink on that.
I could do a dink on the Big Lebowski. Yeah, any Coen Brothers movie, really. If you give me a Coen Brothers movie, and I'll do it. I would love to do something more cult, like a cult movie, like
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, something of that, or like UHF, or like something of that ilk.
I think Who Framed Roger Rabbit's a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one. We should put these to a vote. But
I'm also not anti MCU movies that we didn't do, or Star Wars movies that we didn't do. I know that's the opposite.
We're getting a lot of. This is the most action this chat has seen in a while. We're getting some good ideas.
People are in on it. Fifth Element. Man, I haven't watched Fifth Element in a long time. The Descent.
Talk about it.
The Descent's really good. Now, I would hold off on The Descent, even though for me, you can celebrate Dorktober 12 months a year. But I think this would be a fun activity in October where we rip through old horror movies and give it the full review treatment.
Absolutely. I'm looking at this right now. So Luc Besson, who I know directed The Fifth Element and The Professional. I think those are like his. How about a 2-movie run there?
That's not bad. I didn't love Fifth Element. I mean, no? it was no, I didn't love it. Leon the Professional is really good.
What about La Femme Nikita? Well, he wrote that, but
the TV show or the movie?
The movie.
Remember, there was a TV show, La Femme Nikita. My dad watched
it.
Yeah, it was on the USA. You'd always see the ads for it during Monday Night Raw. Yeah, we could do some Indiana Joneses. We got 7.
We could do all the Indiana Joneses.
We could
quickly.
Yeah. The last 2 though were rough.
I didn't mind the newest one. I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah, wasn't my favorite thing.
Ooh,
multiple sevens. Sevens is good. 7's the number. I like 7. What if somebody just came out with like 6-minute abs? Wouldn't that be better?
No,
6.
No,
you even break a sweat in 6 minutes.
7 little chipmunks. What is it?
Sitting on a branch.
Eat a lot of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. 7.
7's the number. Like, okay. Alien. Yeah, Alien.
We could do we've done a Ben Stiller retrospective where like we could name someone funnier than him in every movie.
Yeah,
we could do that.
We could.
Who's funnier than Ben Stiller in this movie?
Nobody in heavyweights. I'll still give him heavyweights.
Well,
it counts. What do you mean? You can't say.
Well, it doesn't make it.
He's the funniest character in heavyweights.
That is the exception, as my dad would say. Even broken clocks are right twice a day. But
that's fine.
Every time I did something right, that's what he would say to me. Well, but does that make it the Perkis character, the dodgeball character? Like, does the Tony Perkis?
No,
White Goodman. And Tony Perkis was heavyweights. White Goodman. Does that make they're the same character? Does that make that inherently lame?
No, it doesn't. I think what it does is you're playing the hits, so I enjoy that. Also, heavyweights wasn't seen on a mainstream level like
no, it was not. It was not.
You could bring that, and he was a good foil to the Not Your Average Joes, Average Joes team, and Vince Vaughn. Ooh, Naked Gun's actually a really good idea.
That is kind of a good idea because I would love to watch those movies again.
They're
remaking that, right?
Yeah, they're doing something with it.
It's Liam Neeson and somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down for Naked Gun. We get
I don't know how to decide this. I don't know what the fuck to decide.
Now I just don't know.
Or do we do when we're done with this? Do we do a Twitter poll? Is that the
best? Yeah. We'll pick 4 and then we'll do a poll. Yeah.
All right. So then we'll have the answer pretty soon.
Yeah.
All right. I like
the room.
Thanks. The room. Yeah, we could do something, just be a real downer.
Yeah.
Oh no,
not the Brie Larson one.
That's
hi Mark. Yeah.
Oh, hi Mark. Yeah.
That one's just called Room. The one with Tommy Wiseau is The Room.
The Room.
Yeah.
Pretty big distinction there. You're watching
huge.
Movies. Yeah. It's like watching 28 Days Later in 28 days. Fucking out of nowhere. All right, so I like that. We'll come up with 4. There's at least 4 in there. I don't even have to come up with any. You guys did an awesome job. There's a lot of good ones in there. So we will put it out at Dork Podcast on Twitter. We'll do a short vote. So by Monday night, we'll know what movie we're doing next week. Gives everybody plenty of time to enjoy it. And all right, let's get to this. Well, they teased this idea after the Dune popcorn bucket came out, where it looked like just like a big toothy vagina. And so what they decided to do was Deadpool and Wolverine were going to put one together. You didn't know what it was going to be, but they revealed it this past week. And it is Wolverine's head, and the popcorn goes into his giant mouth.
Giant gaping mouth.
Yeah, correct.
You
probably have to get this, don't you?
I think it needs to be on prominent display in your household. Now, how many of these do you think they're going to sell?
A fuck ton.
And how do you go about getting this? Is it like certain theater chains have it?
Yeah.
You have to like ask for it.
I wonder. Yeah. Because I don't think when I saw Dune, I don't remember seeing the bucket.
It depends. Like certain theaters might do it. Like it might be a promotion for them. Like AMC would do it or whatever.
I feel like they're gonna sell out of it, and like I'm obviously gonna see it sometime opening weekend, but like if it's gonna be there, because it is pretty hilarious.
And it'll like right on that bookshelf back there, you would see it prominently.
Yeah, just mouth open, just
now. Am I mistaken, or is there a tongue involved? Like when they first did it, they did the pan over it. There was like a tongue on it, but I don't see it in like the other shots.
And then they squirted butter on it at the end. It's outrageous. It's just over the top. But yeah, I think I mean, I don't know what it's going to cost. It's an arm anyway to go to the
should I have bought this? If you want to send them, if you like what you see here, instead of doing a Patreon, you can just send us Wolverine buckets.
I loved every. Oh yeah, I'll take. Oh yeah, what's Spite bucks or Wolverine buckets? We'll take the Wolverine buckets. I laughed every time.
Spite buckets.
Spite buckets. we now accept spite buckets.
Spite bucks and spite buckets, like the room situation.
Mail them to WEEI. Attention, Keefe and Davey. I'm on it.
And you need to open them on the air and explain to whoever you're with what they are.
It'd be great for the Twitch stream. I love it. I laughed at every single one of the Dune popcorn bucket jokes, like on Twitter, like nonstop. Just like people being like, "How many times is this guy gonna go home and fuck that thing?" And then there's the one where it's like, guy walking in, like he's buying the popcorn, but he's going to a different movie. It's like one for Fools Rush In and the Dune bucket. Like, dude, this is for Dune. Can I leave the theater with the popcorn?
One for Wild Things and a Dune popcorn bucket, please.
Sir, can I see
one for Showgirls?
Can I see your movie ticket? I don't have one. I'm just here to eat. They're like, sir. I actually just want to get the overpriced popcorn and Twizzlers. I'm
gonna sit in the lobby and just eat this.
I'm gonna skedaddle. I just need that fucking really badly. What kind of popcorn? I don't even need popcorn in it. I'll be honest.
I don't need it. No, yeah. Can I get a small popcorn in that huge bucket, please? Just because I don't want it,
large popcorn, lots of butter. Hold the popcorn.
Butter enough.
You just want the bucket filled
with a tub of butter. Yep,
that's right. Thank you so much. Speaking of popcorn movies, I know people are getting on us because we didn't get a chance to see it last weekend when it came out, but Furiosa, the Mad Max Fury Road prequel, is doing very well. Dual 90% on Roddy T's right now. I definitely want to see it. Haven't had an opportunity to see it yet. Go ahead.
People are getting all over us about not seeing it, but like neither did you, because we had one of the worst Memorial Day weekends for movies like on record. I think it made only like $39 million last weekend.
Yeah, I think it lost to Garfield.
Lost to Garfield.
No.
Like, God damn.
Yeah, it's one of those
things. See the movies. God damn it.
I don't know, man. This was going to be one of my picks of the pod, but I have many picks of the pod, so I'll get to it.
So do I.
Did you see the movie that is on Max right now, the documentary about Movie Pass?
Not yet. No, that's on my list of things to watch.
It's good. Movie Pass, movie something it's called. Movie Crush. I don't know. It's like a 2-word thing. But I never had Movie Pass. Did you have Movie Pass?
No, people kept telling us to get it. And I remember like then, it was right then when people started cluing us into it, they were like certain chains were like, we're not doing it. Like AMC was like, we're not honoring these.
It was all pulling out. They did a good job of describing it. And I think at one point the price wasn't super low when it first came out. So cheap me was like, well, I'm not going to do it. And then for like, they lowered the price so low that my thought was like, what's the catch? Like, there's no way that's legit. $10 a month for any movie, anytime.
Any movie. No, and then there were like blackout dates, and then like they claimed it was one thing.
So I recommend the documentary. But anyway, at a time, I think Movie Pass was really helping because people were going to the theater like crazy. Yes. This is right before COVID. It was a couple of years before COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And people were paying $10 a month to a subscription service, and they were seeing multiple movies a week. So if you go back to like Infinity War and Endgame, those movies would have done well no matter what. I'm just saying, like, the added boost of these people, and then they could see it as many times as they want, and they would still get full credit for like a ticket sale. So like I think that shit for that few years that it was out probably helped all these movies. So when people are like, oh, like nobody's come back to theaters after COVID, obviously that is somewhat true. But I think this was like another thing that impacted it on top of all the streaming services and on top of people getting used to watching their movies at home.
And it's funny too, because I remember that was the time, like right before COVID, couple years into this, like that's when you and I were going to the movies the most. And that's why people were like you and I would go to the movies 3-4 times a month. That's when people were like
Movie Pass.
hammering us like on like email and stuff. Like, oh, you guys should really get Movie Pass. Because remember, thanks to John, because John was giving us the gift cards.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. You guys like those AMC cards, which was great. That helped a ton.
Helped a ton. But then people were like, yeah, you guys should look into that. And then right as they said that, it started to tank and get weird. And
it definitely got weird. And now with my like night schedule plus having kids, it's like it's tough to go as many times as you want. I can't go 3 times a month, even if it was free. But Furiosa is a movie I want to see. Another movie I want to see is Of a Violent Nature. This is the POV horror movie.
Yeah, it's like over the shoulder, like
yeah. I remember we talked about the trailer before, and
the trailer looks amazing.
It looks really good.
I hope they keep that camera angle the whole time.
Yeah, I wonder if they do. I mean, they must. Wait, where is is it Of a Violent Nature? I'm not
In a Violent Nature.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, let me see what it's got on Roddy T's right now. In a Violent, oh, there it is. 2024. All right, let's see. It is 80. Oh, this is weird. 87% critics, and it has over 100 reviews. So 87 critics, 45 audience.
I wonder why that is. Usually horror movies are flipped that way.
Right.
Maybe it's like hard to watch.
Maybe. That could be it. Maybe
not like hard to watch, like as in it's gross or gruesome. It's just like it's difficult to watch that camera angle the entire time.
Yeah, you're like, get in front. Let me just get in front.
I want to see what he looks like.
Go around. I can't see it. Can't see anything. I'll definitely watch it. It's a 90-minute horror movie. It is in theaters now. You're right. In a Violent Nature is the name of it. Looking it up. All right, very good. We got the trailer for Wolves, the Brad Pitt George Clooney movie where they're both apparently Winston Wolfe.
Oh, so like that's where it comes from, because I was reading into it. They were like it was supposed to be wolves, but they're both work alone type, so it's wolves.
Well, I just think the job is very much off of Winston Wolfe, and I don't know how you can ignore that, right? Like they're both fixers.
Yes.
And I think when I think of that, I know there's been a lot of movies with a lot of different fixers, but like Winston Wolfe's the guy I think of. But you're right, they definitely aren't working together. Therefore, it would be.
Wait, you're talking about the Wolf from Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, isn't his first name Winston?
I don't know. I just remember in the movie they call him the Wolf, but you're probably right. It is Winston Wolfe.
All right, let me look this up. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, Winston the Wolf is from Pulp Fiction. Yeah. I was just saying that like I knew it. Yeah, and so it's Brad Pitt and George Clooney, and just from the trailer, like it's definitely going to be a lot of the Ocean's 11 kind of comedy that they have together. They have the same job. They usually work alone, but now they're working together. So I'm in. Like I like those guys. I think they're good on screen. I like Brad Pitt particularly. So
no, yeah. I mean, this movie's going to be good. It's on Apple TV, right? It's an Apple movie.
Oh, that's a good question. I thought it was a theater movie.
I think it might be both, but I think it is an Apple Studios or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Let's see. Release date September 20th. Apple entered another agreement to distribute the film in theaters.
Okay.
It'll be released in the United States on September 20th.
Nice.
I think they did this with Argyle too. Argyle might have been like a Apple movie, but it wasn't on Apple. It was in theaters first.
Yeah, Apple distributed it. Yeah.
Yeah, then you could buy it on Apple for a while, and then eventually they made it free. And it's also John Watts is the director, the dude from Homecoming or the new Spider-Man trilogy.
Which intrigues me. Now I'm told too he's off the next Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know about this next Spider-Man.
I don't know either. I don't know how they're gonna do this.
Because doesn't it kind of feel like, hey, we're making it because like all the other ones were good and people like Spider-Man and we have the ability to make more Spider-Man. So I'm like,
But I think Tom Hardy's got one more. Not Tom Holland has one more movie in his deal.
Yeah. I think he just celebrated a birthday. That Tom Holland.
Good for him.
Yeah, getting older. As we do.
As we do.
The Bear season 3 had a new trailer. We tweeted that out at Dork Podcast. This comes out end of the month. They're going to put all the episodes out at the same time, so we'll probably turn that around fairly quickly. But yeah, looks like they're making that's a pretty fancy restaurant they got going on here.
Stressing me out. The whole 2 minutes and 20 seconds was just stress the whole time.
Too much.
Yeah,
too much.
It's too much drama in the kitchen.
But Richie was there, so it looks like Richie and Carmi must have worked it out a little bit.
And then they get in the fight about the bowls, which Carmi was right. Those were 2 different bowls, 2 different sizes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we saw Claire again. We saw the Fact brothers working together.
Oh, Fact brothers are where it's at. Do you have $500? I am an adult man. I have access to $500. Yes. All right. What do you think about baseball cards? What?
Still the greatest pitch ever. And I'm sure they didn't tell John Mulaney what they were pitching him.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. So he just
and that's all ad-libbed. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. That was a wild episode. So we did our whole preview for summer TV last week.
Yes.
It includes The Bear. It also includes The Acolyte, which comes out this very week.
I'm excited.
I'm
2 episodes, right?
Double episode on Tuesday. And they're doing I like the 9 p.m. release because when they would fucking release it at 3 a.m., you would you'd get home from work and it's already spoiled for you and everything else.
That's what I'm saying. You either got to watch it, you're going to stay up late, or you're going to have to avoid social media all day.
Yeah. So there's one thing, I'm not even going to say it because I found it to be a spoiler, even though they might argue that it isn't. But IGN tweeted something in regards to The Acolyte as as sort of a matter of fact. And I'm like, that's a spoiler.
Right.
So I'm not going to say what it is.
I didn't read it. So
maybe you guys came across it. It was really annoying to read. But then again, I follow them for some reason.
IGN is annoying.
Correct.
I have, bee in my bonnet when they got, exposed for doing payola, people buying good reviews for games and shit. So yeah. Who knows?
Shit. All right. Ryan, music news for you. We just did we went through the Apple Music, I should say, top 100 albums. Crock of shit, that whole list. But it was fun to do anyway. Anyway, one person who had an album on the top 100 is going to be putting out another album this summer, perhaps his final album. That would be Eminem with The Death of Slim Shady. And he just came out with the first single off of that album called Houdini. Did you listen to the song and or watch the video?
Both.
What do you think?
I didn't love it. He's a very talented lyricist. I think it's a little too silly.
It is
the right word.
It is a bit silly. It is a very throwback,
poppy,
very poppy throwback to his other singles that were sort of that got him out there.
It reminded me of My Band. Remember the one he did with D12?
D12. Yeah, that was cool. Dude. There was 2 D12 albums which were fantastic.
The Eminem verse on the song "Get Up" in D12 World, the first song on that,
so
blow your mind good.
Oh my god, we listened to that in college quite a bit.
The 10-9, it says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That, oh my god, so good.
Yeah, that is a good that question about albums that just kick you in the face with track 1.
Yeah, D12 World.
D12
That's a good one.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good though. He had a bunch of cameos in there, a bunch of references. It was definitely kind of more fun, silly, but I also thought it was kind of self-deprecating to the point where it's also he's very self-aware, where he's referencing his old self and what his old self would be saying now, and kind of combining the two. So I'm interested to see what the rest of the album sounds like.
Yeah, and I think it'll be more of that. I mean, there might be some actual serious reflection going on here about that persona, and all that stuff. So I am interested. I bet the album's going to be absolute fire, but I don't
I mean, he's got like Dre and Snoop will probably be on there. He mentions Megan Thee Stallion, which is funny because I didn't get the reference.
Yeah.
I was talking to Stiz about it. And so when he was talking about having a shot with Megan Thee Stallion to be a feat or whatever, like
be a feature, yeah.
Apparently Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. So that's also a direct reference to her getting shot in the foot. I was like, oh no shit, that is actually
well now that
really
like how clever he is to like sneak that in.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, that's way better than I thought.
Yeah, her boyfriend shot her in the foot.
Yeah. And so he's like, if I have a shot to get her in the feet or something like that, I'm like,
to get on a feet or something like that.
God
Like that's
damn,
so.
So she has to be on a song. That'd be great.
Yeah, and then I get more street cred. She did a song with Eminem, and I got bomb pictures of her. I haven't even shown you the outtakes yet.
Now you're 1 degree away. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those outtakes.
Yeah,
you're 1 degree.
Keep teasing them. Yeah,
I got some good Netflix news. If you are a subscriber to Netflix, the streaming service, Godzilla -1 is now available on Netflix. And if you haven't seen it, we highly recommend it. And we did a dork on it, so you can go back and listen to it. Nearly got a perfect score. I think Dave gave it the 6 out of 6. I gave it a 5.5 out of 6. I sort of discussed why in the episode, but I still loved it. Like it was way better than I could have imagined. And I went in knowing that the reviews were really good and there was a lot of hype behind it. But even still, it lived up to my expectation. Or
really
higher.
And this is if you have a home theater, this is your time. This is your time to shine. Yeah, when I opened up Netflix this morning, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when. I audibly gasped. I went like, I was so excited that it was on there. I can't wait to watch it again.
It's so good. It combines one of the best on-screen monsters that we've seen, and not just Godzilla in name. I mean, like the version of him.
Yeah.
But then also the people, which normally get in the way. The people story on this is crazy.
So good.
It is so good. Also, another TV show that we did a standalone on, you can check the archives. Lost is coming to Netflix July 1st.
Yeah.
So if you somehow never watched it, like I didn't until a year ago, or if you just want to give it another rip, it is going to be on Netflix July 1st because it was on. I watched it on like Freevee through like Apple or Amazon Prime. Like it wasn't really anywhere easy to find, but I guess it's coming back to Netflix finally.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. So I might take another walk in the park. I know Jason Rossi's going to do it.
Oh yeah,
so I might as well just take another walk through the island.
You're going to watch Lost again?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I missed that.
You did. Knives Out 3, which is going to be called Wake Up Dead Man, another Benoit Blanc film. Now I'm a little confused because last week when we were on, we said how Tom Hardy and Lindsay Lohan were added to the cast.
Yep.
And it wasn't just some like jackass, like it was a few like sites had that. And then every day they've been adding another character, and then they've been saying who's on the cast, and yet Tom Hardy and Lindsay Lohan aren't a part of like the expanding roster. So I'm guessing they're out or never were in.
Yeah.
But now the most recent one to be named to the cast is Mila Kunis.
I saw what you tweeted out about this, and I'm kind of on your side with it.
I'm out on Mila Kunis, and if you're not out on Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher wrote like a character.
No, they did. It was a video thing. It was a character reference for Danny Masterson's like rape trial.
He's like a serial rapist. He's like the worst guy. He's a horrible guy. And they've known him a long time. They like defended him. Apparently, they said what a great guy he is. They started to get into this stuff. They never really said anything about the victims or anything like that. And then they were getting a lot of blowback for it, as you can imagine. So then they filmed this like 1-minute video with the two of them like sad sacking it and just being oh, we knew him for a while, and like, but like, oh,
that's not the person we know.
That's awful stuff. There's awful stuff. There's worse shit in the evening news.
So what I wanted to say was like, well, that's not the guy we knew. And then he fooled you too.
Right. Then you got. You're not.
Then you got. You're
done.
Yeah.
So I don't like. So both of them, because like 10 years ago, I'd be like, Mila Kunis, great. Like she was great in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. She was great in Black Swan. Like great.
Ted.
But after that whole thing, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Oh yeah, Ted. Yeah. Fuck that. Anyway, that's all the news fit to print. Let's get to this.
It's time for Davey's video game minute, even if it takes more than a minute.
Yes.
I was waiting for that to fade out. We haven't done one of these in a minute. We did a big thing on like the NCAA football, which is a huge news. And there was more stuff that came out. We were talking about it via text, like it's saying how the early hands-on is it's like a faster, crisper. It's not a Madden clone. It's something that's going to be like really, really special, and people are really excited about it. So much so that I'm hearing they out there saying in this this section, they out there saying that NCAA basketball would be the next one. Are you interested in that?
Kinda. There were some good versions of that. I had a good time with NCAA basketball. I definitely played the NBA games more, which is a good segue into our next topic.
We'll talk about more of that later. But
pretty good. NCAA football though was next level as far as like hours spent.
Yeah,
and just like but
and one of I know MVP baseball 2005 is one of the best baseball games ever. But NCAA baseball, if that comes back, I'm picking that up immediately.
Remember that had the guy with like the red helmet on the cover, right?
Yeah, in Nebraska. He was playing for Nebraska, and the hit stick. It was like the first time they did the hit stick with that. So which is if they brought that back, that would be sweet too. Let's see. So we haven't done this in a while. So Ubisoft, the company Ubisoft, dropped two things. So there's this game that they just dropped. It came out the May 21st. X Defiant. It is a new first-person shooter. Now, Richard, what if I told you? I played it today. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
It's like Overwatch. It's 5v5, first person, Overwatch style game. So you do like the escort, you do the occupy like spaces, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there's that, but it's like characters from the Ubisoft, like the Tom Clancy game series. So you have like Rainbow Six operators, you have Echelon, like Splinter Cell, DedSec from Watch Dogs, and Far Cry. So there's all these like teams, so you can be, and they all have different loadouts and do different things. So it sounds good to you so far? And it's got kind of like
on that.
And they added like the weapon modification system of like a Call of Duty game. You in so far?
Oh shit. Okay.
What if I told you?
I think so.
What if I told you?
All right.
It's free.
I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in, and then some.
There you go. So check out X Defiant right now. It's it's free game. Free game. So not going to be a free game, by the way. Is the other Ubisoft game that got announced after we did the last one of these, Assassin's Creed Shadows, in which this finally we have an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, which seems like it would have been a no-brainer like 4 games ago.
That's gonna be sick.
And so there's a little bit of controversy here because one of the cool things that Ubisoft is doing with this game too, you can buy it for $70 now, or you can pay $18 a month until it comes out, and you get it 3 days early.
Okay, I don't hate that.
I don't hate that, right?
Nope.
It features, so the male playable character, there's a male and a female character in the game. The female ninja, and then the samurai, who is the male identifying character in this game, is actually Yasuke, who is the first or the only recorded black samurai.
All right.
I've read about Yasuke, and I know that this is a guy who was African born, who was became a samurai, and then something happened and he got shipped back to like the Jesuits, and you never heard from him again.
No shit.
So I think one of the cool things is that Assassin's Creed has always done like these loosely based historical things, like what people, if we have gaps in like what people did in history, like they kind of fill them in, and they put them on either side of this, which is actually really cool. So I'm interested to see like what they do with this character, and people are kind of pissed about it.
When's that coming out?
Game. So that comes out November 15th.
Okay.
2024.
That might be
but it looks good. So again, if you played the first Assassin's Creed game, you're like, oh, well, the next one's gonna be like in Japan or something. Like, it'll be like ninjas or whatever. Never did it until now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
on that. I saw the 3. This is what I was looking up. The 3 free PS Plus games for June.
Yes,
are SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake.
Okay.
And I don't know if you played that.
No, my kids play it though, and they love it. They played the other one, not that one.
They?
Yeah.
AEW Fight Forever.
Okay.
It's a wrestling game, although I've heard, and I might download it just because I like the roster. I like a lot of the guys on there. Apparently, it's a shit game. Apparently, it sucks.
Okay, well,
I've heard. And then Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, have you played Streets of Rage 4?
I don't think I have.
You'll love it. You will love it. It's so fun, and we can co-op it too. I think.
Okay, all right, maybe I'll. Okay,
it's free. I mean, what else? What else are you doing? You know,
I'm not doing.
What else are you doing?
I'm not doing a god.
So there's that. And so I know there's the Silent Hill. They're remaking Silent Hill.
Oh yeah,
Silent Hill 2.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to play that. No. That game scared the shit out of me when it looked like blocks. When it looked like Minecraft, that game scared me. I don't know if I want to play it now.
Good streaming game though. It's
good great streaming game. Yeah. So, and the other thing, so I'm playing X Defiant, but I'm also there was Kotaku. Somebody was talking about. There was an article about how good Diablo has gotten since it's released, Diablo 4. And so I started playing it again, and now I can't stop.
Okay,
like it's a real problem. Like I've actually abandoned Hades 2 to start playing Diablo again. Like it's a real issue for me right now. So I think I don't want to tell you how long I played yesterday, but it was
well, speaking of playing for a very long time, how many, so when we do our college football dynasty league,
yes,
how many games a week do you think is like the minimum?
1 is the minimum, but you could say like, you try to do like 2 a week. Because
we're still feeling this out. So Ike, Bales, me, and you, and Bales. Ike asked, and I already knew the answer. Ike was probably going to say like he was just gauging. He's like, "How many games do you think you guys could play a week?"
Yeah.
Bales is like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "I'm pretty busy. I could probably do like 1." Ike's like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." I'm like, Ike was probably hoping for like 5.
He's like, "No, you got to play a whole season in a month." No,
exactly.
So the other thing too is the other Madden league, that hardcore Madden league, is I think if you don't, you either forfeit the game or you have to sim it if you don't make the deadline.
Okay. Yeah, and
you could lose. You could lose in a sim.
Oh, you definitely could lose in the sim. Yeah, so we'll figure out all the different rules with that, but I'm pumped. I'll try to stream some of that too. And like you said, we should definitely, as soon as we get the game, we should do try to remember how to play stream.
Oh my god, yeah, you and I just playing it, trying to hit each, because the hit sticks back.
Also, did you see they're gonna like more wear and tear on the players? So like if your quarterback gets absolutely fucking pumped, like his arm might not be the same for like a while, or like he might not play the same. Like you can't, like old school days, just give the ball to one guy the whole time.
Right. You can't just like I used to do. Rookie mode used to do. Just hand the ball to myself.
You just hand the ball to Ryan Davey every time.
How the hell? It's the 3rd week of the season. You're already over 1,000 yards. Like how?
The guy just found the holes out there. The guy's block for him up front. It was just like
absolutely. Just follow the block. Follow that pulling guard. You know where you're going.
So yeah, we're gonna hash that out, but that'll be fun. I can't wait. And now we're in June, so we're less than 2 months away from that.
A month, right? July 19th. Yeah, a month and a half. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of here we go, let's get to this.
Pick of the bomb.
All right. Would you like to kick, receive, defer, or defend a goal?
I will receive. I have 3 this week.
Same.
So I have on Disney Plus, it's called Idea Man or Idea. Yeah. It's a documentary it's a biography of Jim Henson. It's outstanding. Really, really good if you wanted to check that out. I also watched this Netflix documentary, Dancing with the Devil. Have you heard this? Have you heard about this? Yeah. So it's like, it's funny. Like I would go on TikTok and I would see all of these, they're adults, but I would say like these kids, like, trying to be like TikTok dancers and stuff. And there's like really well produced videos that they would do of them dancing. Apparently they're all in a cult.
Oh man.
Like run by this guy. It's really bizarre. Like if you're into that stuff, like I like cult stuff and weird shit like that. So that's on Netflix. And then lastly, in spite of myself, I will say this on Netflix, the show Tires.
Oh, did you watch that?
It's
Shane
really
Gillis show, right?
funny. Yeah, and I didn't want to think it. I was like, ugh. And I'm like, it's really fucking funny.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, borderline standalone. If you want to, let me
Really?
know.
I'll watch it. Yeah, no,
Watch it. It's 6 episodes and they're all like 25 minutes.
Oh, I'll definitely watch it then. Yeah,
Yeah.
Shark actually, he texted me about it and was like, it's pretty good. He's like, it's basically just The Office, but they work at a tire store and they can swear.
Yeah, but they don't talk to the camera, so it's like
Okay,
kind of like you're there with them, so which is great. But
yeah, because I keep seeing that pop up, and I think Shane Gillis is funny. Like, I'm like, nothing drew me to the show.
Thing, like, I don't want to think he's funny because I think he's kind of a dope, but like he's pretty funny.
He's funny. He's definitely funny.
Like he's that guy that like he's your drinking buddy that like is just funnier than everybody.
Yeah,
naturally. Like, but he's super mean.
he's kind of
you know, yeah. Like even when he's making fun of you, you laugh.
You're like, fuck. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Stuff.
What do you got?
So I've only a half hour into the Jim Henson doc because I was watching it with my wife, but great, can't wait to finish that. I watched Eric, the benefit Lumberjacks show on Netflix. Pretty good. I'm gonna go 4.5. 4.5, I would say. So it's definitely of the worth watching.
It's not too dark, is it?
No.
Okay.
Like, I mean, like the premise, it kind of is dark.
Yeah, but it's not with prisoners or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's not like prisoners.
Okay.
It's not like some of those.
Okay, good.
And it's just crazy because he's like, there's a giant puppet in there too.
Yeah,
which is great. So it's worth watching. And I think similar to Tired, I think it's only 6 episodes, but they're like hour-long episodes. But there's only 6 of them. Also, for some reason, it was because we had this gap between TV shows in like May and June or whatever. I was watching old Alfred Hitchcock movies. I watched 3 different Hitchcock movies. They were all on Prime. Rear Window, which is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Vertigo, which I'd seen forever ago. It's not my favorite. It gets like it's always tossed in there with like his best 5. Not for me. One that I'd never seen before, Rope. You ever seen Rope?
Parts of Rope. I've seen parts of it.
Rope's insane. So Rope it takes place in one room. Like Rope, I think they also made a play about, which makes sense because there's no setting and it's essentially in real time. So, and I guess I read a quote from Hitchcock, I guess at the time that said like, he took a chance and like it failed. But I'm like, I don't know, man. It's good. James Stewart is in that. James Stewart was in all 3 of them that I watched.
Oh, I know where I watched this.
Where'd you watch this?
I watched this in high school because I took this class called The Problem of Evil, which was one of my favorite classes there. And it was about like, they were talking about like evil. So it was like that. And we were doing a lot of like psychology and philosophy of like evil. And so like, that's what it was. We watched parts of that movie.
Dude, so I would recommend it. It's on Prime. It's like less than 90 minutes. So it's like a quick in and out. And this isn't a spoiler because this is the first 5 seconds of the movie. 2 guys strangle and kill a guy right off the rip. And it reminds me of kind of like American Psycho, even though the movie was made in like the 40s, because it's like very like upper class, like prep schoolish type people.
Yeah.
Yet they just murdered somebody. It's fascinating. Like this one didn't get nearly enough attention, but check out Rope.
Yeah, definitely check that out. And it's crazy shit.
There's a bunch really on there. I think Prime for some reason. I don't know if they just have Hitchcock movies or old James Stewart movies or whatever. Dude, but I was like,
so I find Prime to be like the old record bin where like you don't know what's there. If you do a little digging, you're gonna be like, oh shit. And like the deeper you go, you're gonna find cooler stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I watch all my 80s fantasy movies.
They got
I love like those B horror movies and like old 80s fantasy movies. I love that shit.
Yeah, Schlock Talk.
That's still a good idea. It's a good idea, and I stand by.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for listening to this episode. Tell a friend, tell a dork. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Dork Podcast. Yeah.
Teach us, pet.
Oh my God, he admitted.
You
love your mother-in-law. Yeah, I do. All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you, and jump on over to the other link as we will get our second episode going here momentarily. But in the meantime, Brian promised me 1,000,000 times over you will never do another rule.
Yeah, man. No, I'm not going to promise you that.